Coffee with Vic. Good morning. It's Friday. It's 9-ish. And here we are. Our weekly get together with some coffee, everyone. First official sip of the show.
Good morning.
Look at this. Oh my God, this is great coffee. Seattle's best.
Seattle's best is good. It's very strong.
Right.
Yeah, so you're going to be
Strong is good.
pepping your step today.
I also brought in, since we're talking about brands of coffee, because today we're going to have I liked in our notes, you called it a French press-off.
Yeah.
That makes it sound a little bit more official.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we're going to have a French press-off. I did bring my French press from home.
And I have mine as well.
And Jen has hers.
And they're equally as small.
Equally as small. So we're going to make some French press coffee. And we're going to do it with, ready? Dun, dun, dun.
He's got the Dunkin' Donuts versus the leftover cup of coffee grinds from the top of the next door cabinet. That I'm not sure what they are.
I'm not in the
brave.
Dunkin', if that's okay.
It's either some Seattle's best Folgers or a subtle melody of all three.
Could be Switch.
Could be a
What is
potpourri.
Switch? I never heard of Switch. I never heard of Sump. Well, I can't
Do you
hear.
know the Switch spiel? Switch is a coffee made locally. I do not know their full story. Taylor, if you're out there listening, come in and tell us. But they have a philanthropic effort. I think it's some sort of like rehabilitation work program for people who are recently out of incarceration.
Oh, wow.
Or something
a
like
work
that.
release
Like
program,
switch
kind of
their lives around.
Oh, got it. Did you figure that out yourself, or did somebody say that?
I have heard them tell the story to prospective NextCore on the tour
Oh, good.
over and over again, but only in the background, and so that's my takeaway from it.
Okay.
It could be right, it could be wrong. We'll fact check that and tell you the
If
full
not, Switch
story.
call Jen for marketing.
Right. Don't forget, we are live from NextCore, and we appreciate their awesome podcast facility.
Absolutely. We're in the studio at NextCore. And as we get into the French Press show, I just wonder, what would Deb think about our French Press show?
I think it needs more cream.
Perfect. Perfect. All right, so when's the French Press demonstration? Not yet, right?
I have to finish my coffee. And did you pay attention to that very quick intro that we had where there were instructions?
Yes.
And there was about 10 more steps than I do when I make coffee in my French press.
Well,
And we don't have all those equipment tools and whatnot. We've got a pot of water.
we got a spoon for starters. That was one of the instructions.
I
Start up
don't
right there.
even have a spoon. We got a scooper though. We're not gonna be able to grind the grinds.
That's okay.
So we're gonna do what we can. We're gonna see how it turns out.
Okay.
But first, we have to finish this cup of coffee.
No problem. Yeah, I'm not in a rush. I just was curious. So I noticed in the instructions that you played in our intro that there was no mention of whiskey.
Listen, Irish French press. Check it out. It's where it's at.
It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Scotch.
I've got a video for this.
And here it
If
comes.
we're ready.
We're always ready for videos.
Wait, is it gonna work?
Hello, sir. How's your day going?
I don't know. Kind of long, to be honest. My wife's like extremely annoying, like complaining a lot about all this different stuff.
Oh, you don't have to. I'm just trying to be nice.
Kind of messed up.
What can I get you?
Can I just get a tequila on the rocks, please?
Sir, it's a coffee shop.
Yeah, but I don't know.
And it's 2 p.m.
Okay, listen, lady, I've had a really long day.
Oh,
Okay?
I know. I heard you before.
So, tequila on the rocks,
This
please.
isn't a bar, sir.
Excuse me, let me ask you something. What's your job?
This is
I'm a
what we call
barista.
Apple
Yes,
Puppet.
exactly. Barista.
And
Barista.
you know,
B-A-R.
look them up on
Ista.
Sir, if you're not ordering coffee, you'll have to leave.
Okay, fine. Let's do a chai latte, please.
Okay.
With almond milk.
Sure.
And extra foam, please.
It's a YouTube
And
channel.
2 shots of tequila, please.
Sir, again, we don't do that here.
Ma'am, with all due respect, that sign over there says customer satisfaction guarantee.
Check them out.
Okay, well, I'm a customer, and what satisfies me is tequila. I guarantee.
I cannot give you what we do not have, sir.
By the way, you know what this place really needs?
What?
Tequila.
Sir, this is getting out of hand.
What kind of bar only sells coffee? I'm so confused.
Once again, sir, this is a cafe.
Okay, let me just get a Bacatana, please.
Okay, look, if you want an alcoholic drink so badly, there's a bar literally across the street.
Wait, what?
Yep. Yep.
Was that there the whole time?
Yep.
Huh.
Yep.
Well, okay then. Thanks a lot.
How you doing, man? What can I get you?
Can I do a coffee, please?
Good. He goes to the bar across the street and orders coffee.
Ah, got it. So just to get back to the very beginning of that video, when the lady says, "How you doing?" he starts telling us their day and all that kind of stuff, reminds me of in New Jersey, the official greeting to someone. You guys know the official New Jersey greeting, right?
I don't.
Real quick, you stretched it out too far. How you doing?
How you doing?
Real quicker.
How you doing?
Real quicker.
How you doing?
There you go. How you doing? Now, when somebody in New Jersey walks up to you and says, "How you doing?" you don't tell them how you're doing. They don't care. It means hello. How you doing? You know what I'm
Tell me
saying?
about your life.
Huh?
Don't tell me about your life.
Right. I don't care.
I mean,
I'm just saying hi.
If you don't even care enough to say the sentence as a sentence instead of just one word, I would assume you don't want to hear how I'm doing.
Well, but no, some people don't get that. Some people and the perfect explanation of this was do you remember the Budweiser commercials? What's up? You remember those?
Yeah.
They made a Jersey one, I guess, where they're in this bar and all these Italian guys walk in. They all look like my relatives, and they go, "How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?" And there's a guy sitting at the bar that got a cowboy hat on, looks like a Texas kind of guy. Looks like Ross Perot, actually. And the guy says, "How you doing?" And he goes, "Well, I'm doing just fine, thanks. I went down to Texas the other day," and the guy's like, "I don't care how you're doing. It just means hello. That's all. Don't be offended by it. It just means hello." Hey. Okay, another sip. I'm sorry. I am way behind schedule on my coffee drinking. I only had a cup before the house.
Mine too, except for mine, it's like this big.
Mm.
It comes and it just pours right into it.
Uh-huh.
It's a whole cup of coffee.
Like that. All in one.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, the Keurig is that too, I guess. Just one cup at a time. Uh-oh. So, can we do a little cross promotion here? Can we promote the deli real quick?
Sure.
Because yesterday, this all happened because, oh my God. So, 2 of our fish are pregnant in the tanks. They produce the eggs on their own and then need a male to come fertilize the eggs. So we don't have boys in with anybody else. All the boys have tanks of their own. Albeit some of them are small because male betas get really crazy and really they want to attack anything they see. But we've never had a male in with a female. So now that 2 of the fish have produced eggs, we're going to experiment. Now the problem is when the babies are born, you have to feed them brine shrimp. Are you guys familiar with brine shrimp? Brine shrimp is something that comes in like a coffee canister almost, and you have to make a bubbler, because the fish need oxygen, so you make the bubbler, and then you put some of the brine in. You put salt and baking soda, a little bit of baking soda, and then 12 hours later, little baby brine shrimp are born. And of course, nature is vicious. You feed those brine shrimp to baby fish. Is that terrible?
I mean, circle life.
Hello, sir. How's your day going?
Because I feel so bad about that, and it bothers me, and I keep saying nature is vicious. And then my wife, who is always the logical one, says, "You watch those American, the National Geographic shows all the time where the leopard tears up the zebra. Why doesn't that bother you?" I don't know, I guess the zebra could fight back. It's big enough to fight back. But fish are just swimming along and then, and then you're done.
You feel guilty when you fill up a steak?
She said that too.
Your
But-
wife is a smart woman.
Trust me. She's definitely the brains of the operation. I love these coffee beans, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, they're just sliding through. Feel free to comment. I'm told there's an echo going on, and I'm trying to troubleshoot that right now. So.
If there's an echo going on, let me say, no batting, number 2, Derek Jeter, number 2. If you're going to have an echo, you might as well be loud. Anyway, so she made these 2 brine shrimp makers out of soda bottles, like liter soda, water bottles they are. Cuts off the top of them, puts one in, and then she even has this tubing, which will get me back full circle here in a minute, that has a spigot on it. And when the brine shrimp form, it's going to come out of it through the tube, through the spigot, and into the baby's brine shrimp holder. So we were talking about it yesterday, and I heard the word tubing, which made me think of The Secret Policeman's Ball, which was a comedy/music show in England to raise money for the Prince's Trust, I think. And Peter Cook, the late great comedian, and John Cleese from Monty Python are in it. And they're both at like a bus stop. John Cleese is reading the paper, and Peter Cook has a trench coat and a fedora on. And Peter Cook leans into John Cleese and goes, "Do you know you have 4 miles of tube in your stomach?" And then it goes into the whole thing about intestines. So tubing made me go to that. That made me start watching Monty Python videos, and I rolled around to what I call the Johnny B. Good of British comedy. It's called the 4 Yorkshiremen, where you have 4 guys who are sitting around doing very well, drinking nice wine in a fancy hotel, and they start to talk about how terrible their lives were growing up. Like when your parents say, "Oh, when I was a kid, we didn't have that. We had to do it this way. You know, we had to walk 5 miles, our bare feet in the snow up hills to go to school." It was kind of like that, except it gets more and more absurd as the sketch goes on. So then I said, even your coffee is surprised you woke up this early.
Yes.
What? No, that's what the meme said.
I know.
I wasn't saying anything about you.
Oh, this looks familiar.
Precious.
So I watched the 4 Yorkshiremen, many different versions, because like I said, it is the Johnny Good, like a rock band. If you're starting a band in America, when you learn how to play instruments and you meet each other, what's the first song you should do is Johnny B. Good. Well, that sketch is kind of like the Johnny B. Good of British comedy, and there's so many versions of it. And I picked the one, my favorite one is from Monty Python Live at the Hollywood Bowl, which has Michael Palin, Eric Idle, Graham Chapman, and Terry Jones on the right, and they are 4 Yorkshiremen. So I said, we have this vehicle here where we can reach people with audio and video. Why not see if we can do a version of the 4 Yorkshiremen, Maybe right here in the studio, or maybe out in the lobby or somewhere. And I thought it would be really fun. So I put it out on Facebook. I said, hey, who wants to do the 4 Yorkshiremen with me? And we got a bunch of requests, and we have to figure out who we want to pick. I mean, there are some guys who I have acted with that I know, you probably know it already, but certainly. And one of the people who responded was Rick Price.
He's very interested. This was definitely the conversation we were having as he passed out last night.
I really wound his watch.
So you guys talked all night.
Yeah.
So he's really ready. He's really ready to do it. And so are some other people. So we just have to pick who we're going to use and who can come down here. Because I asked somebody who is a great friend of mine who I worked with in New Jersey. His name is TJ. And TJ is a big Monty Python fan. As a matter of fact, my wife, I think it was just my wife, TJ, and I went to this place called the Ritz in New York. And we saw Graham Chapman from Monty Python do a solo show. Like, it wasn't a Monty Python show, it was just him. And unfortunately, about 2 years later, he died. He had cancer, I believe. So I asked TJ about it, thinking that, hey, we can do this on Zoom. And that would be kind of fun, to have the Zoom screen up and 4 people on it, and those would be the 4 Yorkshiremen. And then I was like, yeah, but wouldn't it be really great if we had sent everybody here in the studio and do it right here? So if we get a lot of people local who want to do it, we'll hopefully do it right here in the studio. TJ was so fun. Let's see what he said, because he might be listening. Oh, no, he's talking about it. So that'll be our experiment. We want to do it right. We're going to have rehearsals. We're going to make sure everybody's got all their lines down. And coming up in the next week or so, or a couple of weeks, we will present to you. And we need a name for our actors, like the Porcelli's Deli Players or something like that.
The Porcelli Players.
PP's good.
The PP.
Yeah.
The deli players.
Deli Players.
The players of the deli.
The players of the deli. The Porcelli's Deli Repertory Company is also good.
Why are we having so many sound issues today?
Can they not hear us, or is it just the echo?
There's like background noise in the studio. Someone else was in here last night and I messed up my soundboard.
There's your first mistake, letting somebody else in our studio.
So can we take a look at it?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna, did you know, Vic?
What? Are you telling me Denali delivers?
They sure
I
do.
have no
No
idea.
way.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Let's find out for sure.
Is it gonna run? Oh god. Where's it at?
Jessica said the screen is frozen, so stop action. So I guess we look like the Rankin Bass cartoon.
Yes.
So maybe I should eat Burgermeister Burger. Is that what you mean? I hate toys, and toys hate me.
Nothing to look into.
Either they are going, or I am going. I am certainly not going. How's my Burgermeister Burger, everyone?
Appreciate it.
How good that? Just appreciate the effort. Or is
Oh,
it Burgermeister
so
Burger?
the board. Do you have any idea why it's not the way it was before?
That's not what people are seeing over there on the right?
This is studio mode. For some reason, Denali's is not showing up.
However, Denali's does deliver. This may be an extended version of Coffee with That. We're going to get everything we want to talk about.
We can't hear you. Oh god.
Should be fine now. We were down at the border.
We're back?
Maybe. Can you hear us now?
Hello.
And I don't think that Denali's video played. Murphy's Law. If one thing's gonna go wrong, then everything's gonna go wrong.
Don't you feel bad for Murphy?
Yeah, what a bad rap. He
Right.
probably never got the benefit of the doubt, never one time.
Everything he touched probably fell apart. If he was a waiter, he probably dropped the whole tray of food on you. What else? Poor Murphy. I'm sure he didn't make it. It's not better at all.
It's not better at all, the sound or the video.
Sound or video. Look. Or both. Oh boy. Technical difficulties beyond their control. She said both.
Okay.
You are without a mic, and it's stop action. Hello.
All right. Well,